it's Kim and welcome back. This is a come pack reading vlog with me. I've been very busy this time of year getting ready for all of the holiday markets. It is also, oh my gosh, I don't even know what day it is. November 16th? Hold on. It is Saturday, November 19th, which first off reminds me, my little sister's birthday is in 2 days and I need to let her know that we are in a Buffalo blizzard. So her gift is not gonna get out there today. So we are in a full travel ban for most of Western New York in the Buffalo area. I live a little farther north, so I have a travel advisory, but essentially when this kind of weather, I'm only leaving the house if it's absolutely urgent, which was a really good weekend for me to really hunker down and pack and pre-pack as many orders as I could for these holiday markets. So today alone, I'm looking at the pile over there and I'll cut to some footage. I have probably wrapped over 100 books. So as you guys know, as part of Read It and Eat, or if you don't know about Read It and Eat curates culinary experiences by pairing books and food together. One program is the Blind Date with a Book program, where you can get one book of your genre of choice. We have 6 different genres, paired with a snack from a small business, never from Amazon, and a donation to fight hunger here in Western New York. So I have been wrapping tons and tons of books because when you get to the holiday market, I'm not gonna have any time to wrap there. So what I want is for you to be able to pick a book off the shelf and read the hint on the front. So today was the final day. I'm finally done just wrapping books. And as you guys can see in the footage, Dan also helps me out by stamping with Toasty, my mascot, in the top corners of the book. So there's a couple steps to wrapping each blind date. I have a grid, so I know each book, even if it's wrapped up, it has a code on the front and on the spine now of the wrapping paper. We stamp each corner, and then I have to write a hint or a set of hints for each book. Now, unfortunately, because of this, first off, I was prepping so many books, I ran out of my branded sticker. And now because of the blizzard, the local business that's printing my stickers can't even get to their location to finish printing them. So I will probably have to pick up the rest of the printed stickers on Monday. But there are still a couple piles of books that need to have their hints written on where I already had the sticker. So that's probably what Sunday is going to be. In the meantime, while doing this rather tedious and monotonous job, I probably spent all in, I'm looking at my phone, about 4 hours doing today's work and shoveling. Dan took a second shift at shoveling too. I have been listening to Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. This is a book that has been on my shelves for about 2 years now, and Tweet Cute is enemies to lovers, all in a Twitter war about grilled cheese. You have Pepper. She is the swim team captain. She is a little bit of a rags to riches. Her parents made it, they started with one Big League Burgers chain, store location, and now it's become the #4 US global hamburger chain. So she has been snatched up from her town. Now she lives in uptown New York and feels a little bit, I feel like imposter syndrome in her. She describes it so far, Pepper describes her school as not boarding school, preppy private academy, more intense than Gossip Girl. And then you have Jack, he's the class clown and kind of like the total opposite of Pepper. And Jack has a twin brother, who he's the total opposite of. His twin brother is super popular, gay, everyone likes him. Jack is kind of the class clown and on his own, but he has this huge love for his family's deli. So when Big League Burger announces a new grilled cheese, it looks almost identical to the one that his grandmother made. And it's an iconic grilled cheese recipe from this small deli, the kind that like celebrities have come back to visit year after year. So these two are having a Twitter battle with each other on the corporate accounts. Meanwhile, they are also secretly talking to each other on this app that Jack designed called Weasel. And Weasel is kind of like, you don't know who you're talking to. So it's kind of like being in the old school chat rooms where you just have a username that's assigned to you. But at any time you can go pop goes the Weasel and it will reveal who it is you've been talking to. The special note about Weasel is that only students in this one high school can be part of Weasel. So Jack and Pepper don't realize they've been talking to each other. Her name is Bluebird and Jack's is Wolf. So it says chapter 3 on the audiobook, but it's definitely not chapter 3 in the physical book because the perspectives go back and forth. So I'm not sure where I am in the book. I'm trying to like find a few. I'm probably less than 75 pages in. It's about a 10-hour audiobook, so I might flip to the physical book because I do want to finish the book this weekend. It has just been helpful to be listening to a book while wrapping orders and things like that. But I am done for at least now. I need a break. I have finished the wrapping portion. There's definitely a ton of clues I could wrap, and my goal is to get all of those done by the end of the weekend. That way, once I get the stickers, I still have all of my mystery books to put stickers on and write hints for, all of my middle grade options, and all of my nonfiction. But I will be able to finish romance clues and most young adult. Only one book doesn't have stickers left on it. But yeah, that is my vlog and so far, and I will be back in a little bit. Hey, it's Kim. It's actually now Monday and not Sunday. Yesterday I spent most of the afternoon just writing the hints on the blind dates. So it's not that interesting to film, but I was essentially writing clues like this and little genre norms across all of the romance books I had and all of the fiction books, so about 100 books. And while it was a Buffalo blizzard, south of me ended up with 77 inches of snow. I got lucky and did not have that much, so let me flip you around and show you. So I maybe got 6 inches of snow, and as you can see, it's already starting to melt. So that's why we live north of the snow belt line in Buffalo, for our own good. So as you can see, I have orders that I have to send out. I'm packing a big order for a bookstore, and these are all the blind dates. I ran out of labels, and because of I ran out of my labels, and they were supposed to be printed over the weekend. Now, because of the snow, the small business couldn't print the labels, which I totally understand. It's a freaking blizzard. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more books, each with 5 units of each book that I still have to put stickers on and do the hints for, and it's Monday and the show's Friday. So my goal is to get the stickers today. I'm waiting for a message from the printer to go pick them up and try and get through either all of the middle grade, the mystery, or the nonfiction. Like one of those genres. I just finished all of young adult today. Meanwhile, I'll flip you around again. I have been working on prototyping or prepping some of my new like event material. So as you can see, I got this, it's like a foldable, it folds right in the middle, display rack, and it's kind of meant to be like a bookshelf. So you can come up to it, you can see all the bookmarks my brother-in-law made for me, all of the toasty pins and stickers. And then if you're like, oh, let me look at a book, the back, the neck, the spine is now labeled, and you can come out and you can read all of the hints and pick your blind date with a book. Now, what I'm hoping is next to it will be like a table to get the snacks. And I will on the ends have a book up and forward so you can like read it. So I have a shelf for romance, I have a shelf for fiction, young adult, and then middle grade and cozy mystery. I'm gonna try and like fit cozy mystery up here and middle grade down there. But yeah, this is new for the show. It's brand new. And on the sides are gonna be the toasty tote bags. This is a prototype, so that's not what's actually for sale. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. And then this has been my little survival cart helping me get things ready. So I need to unpack this, which is full of snacks for the event. And then I'm gonna use that box to pack out an order that's big enough. It's my beautiful bookshelves. I just love my bookshelves. It makes me so happy. Okay, now that I've sat down, I can tell you a little bit more about Tweet Cute. So I've been listening to the book, because it always helps while I'm doing other things. And I'm about 3 hours in, and Pepper and Jack are from the rival grilled cheese places. Pepper kind of represents big corporate, like a big fast food chain, and Jack is from the family-owned business. Not that Pepper's family isn't family-owned and didn't start with just one small stand and, become wildly successful. So we're about 3 hours in, and they have now just found out that they are rivals, that they are running the opposite Twitter accounts. I honestly was surprised that we found out this early in this YA book, that they're rivals, and now like this budding friendship they had is now already over. So I was surprised that happened early, which was good, because I was a little like, oh, I hope this doesn't become super dramatic, like super angsty young adult. I don't read a lot of young adult anymore, but I've been wanting to read this one. Now, there's still the subplot of the Weasel app and the fact that Jack created it, and that neither of them know who each other is on the Weasel app, that she is Bluebird and he is Wolf. So that plot line still has to happen. I also find it hilarious, unrealistic, but relatable at the same time that teenagers are running their Twitter accounts. I get it more for Jack running his family-owned and operated deli's small Twitter account, but the idea that this woman who's supposed to be the CEO, Pepper's mother, is letting a teenager half-ass part-time run the Twitter account while not empowering her own full-time employee, I just find really ridiculous. Maybe because I work in corporate, big world consumer product goods, like that doesn't happen anymore. Like that's very unrealistic. And it's kind of killing me. Like, and by kind of, I mean really killing me, because I mean, one of my friends is a social media director. I have worked in social media. You would never give a teenager the account, access to the corporate account without any rules, regulations, or checkpoints. Also, she is a teenager, so she is in school. Like, there's so many problems with that plot element that is highly, highly problematic. Like, I'm a small business owner, and I would never even give any volunteer or intern the keys to my social media platforms. They would most likely schedule through a third-party app like Buffer, and then I could check and approve that content. Because like, not only right now is it a viral moment, but like even typos and things like that. I got fired from an internship or a volunteer position because I, instead of writing kick ass, wrote kiss ass, or my phone corrected a tweet to kiss ass, and I got fired. Like, I was asked to resign from the volunteer position. You can get fired from a volunteer position. I can say that. I was in my early 20s. No, I was in my mid-20s. But regardless, like, that was a huge learning lesson for me. I got fired from a volunteer role for mistweeting, yet you're going to give a corporate account with multiple chains in the United States over to the hands of a teenager, a 16-year-old girl. Maybe she's 17. Maybe she's a senior, so 17, 18. I'm sorry. I really, 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 really don't buy it. I also... like, not only is that just bad parenting, but it's also bad business. And it's like this one plot element that's entirely ruining the book for me. Otherwise, it's really cute and I'm enjoying it. But like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it in this day and age. I mean, I just don't. But anyway, I have more work to do, but I did want to check in and let you guys know how it's going. So I'll keep listening. We'll see where we go in the end. I like Jack a lot more. I like Piper though. Or Pepper, sorry. I like the characters. I just can't get over the tweet thing. Hello. So it has been a couple of weeks since I checked in with you on this reading vlog / packing for the holiday market vlog. So first and foremost, I am recovering from being sick. You can probably hear it, or maybe you can't, but I can still feel it. After the holiday market, I got really sick. Thankfully was not COVID, was not RSV, but still felt like garbage. And now, unfortunately, that's what happens when you live with someone. I gave my sickness to Dan, so we're both trying to get better before the holidays, especially knowing we're going to have to travel. I've loaded up on tons of medicine. I have my masks. This Thursday was the first time I left the house in almost a week, so I am trying to take it very seriously. Just because it's not COVID doesn't mean that we shouldn't be spreading germs everywhere, which is really kind of frustrating because I know we were largely in this work from home policy. Now we're starting to see more and more mandates to become hybrid. Starting in January, I'll be back in the office 3 days a week. And I was sitting at home one day, you know, sick as a dog, and everyone could hear it. I was sick. I have no more PTO days left for sick days, just because I started my job mid-year. I digress. So I really didn't have the opportunity to call in sick, but I was sitting at home doing my work and I was like, God, what was the world like before this? Like, would you have, because I didn't have a sick day, expected me to come into the office where I sounded awful? Like, very tight chest congestion. I did not look good. I did not sound good. Like, could you imagine sitting next to me in your cubicle? You wouldn't want to be anywhere near me. And I just find as we return to the office, a lot of people are like, it's all about team community and being together. I'm like, yeah, it's also if I'm sick, but not sick enough to call out because maybe I don't have a fever, I don't want to be near you. I'm going to work from home. I just hope that companies allow us the flexibility to be grown adults. I am staying home not only because I don't feel well, but I don't want to give this to anyone else. And on Thursday, we had to go to the office for this kind of test, essentially to test that there were enough desks and enough cubicles, which was stupid because there aren't enough desks and cubicles for 800 people to be in the office at the same time. And I'm literally sitting at my desk with a bottle of Dayquil, just out in the open. People are watching me sip my Dayquil, not like all day, but like, you know, when it was time to take another dose, because you mandated me to be here. I needed, like, it wasn't like, oh, I have a sniffle, I have a cold. Like, I was sick. If I cough, I didn't have a fever, which is the hard part. I didn't have a fever, but I didn't have just a cold. If you heard me cough, you would have been like. Anyway, yeah, so that's why it's been a couple weeks since I finished up this vlog. I did finish Tweet Cute. Before I get there, the holiday market went really well. It was over the Black Friday, Thanksgiving weekend, 3 days, 9,000 people showed up at this show, and I doubled my sales from last year after all of the taxes and fees. We donated over $500, doing the quick math. We donated $500 to fight hunger over that weekend alone. So each day I would go to the market, and at the end of the day, I would tally and then do a percentage, just like I always promise, because Read and Eat's all about fighting hunger. So at the end of each market, I do the calculation and immediately send, like, by Venmo, by PayPal, and etc. And I'd be able to share on social media, today's donations went to this nonprofit in Buffalo and this nonprofit in Buffalo. $500 in one weekend to fight hunger, that's awesome. Feed America uses this rough calculation that $1 is 10 meals for people. Now, I personally don't believe in that calculation for a small business because I don't have the economies of scale. But let's just say it was $1 for one meal. That's 500 meals that, like, people, it's just from market sales in person, and it makes it all so worthwhile to know that we're having this kind of impact in the world. I am really proud, and I am so thankful to everyone who stopped by the booth, and also everyone who's been shopping online this holiday season. Like, you guys, this means a lot. In the last month or two, just the holidays is always where I get the most revenue, but we have donated close to, I think, $750 to fight hunger, to just fight hunger, create meals, and create food-related jobs, and fight food scarcity and food apartheid, which is so, like, oh, it's like what it's all about for me. So thank you so much. Planning and all the prep work I did for the market really helped. I was able to each day go home and just replenish what books had sold with all the other wrapped books I still had in the house. I sold a bunch of kits too, and because all the kits are pre-wrapped and in the basement, it was so nice to not panic every day like I did last year. I found that my setup looked much more elegant with the bookshelf as well. People really liked it. So, like, it stinks to spend your whole month, nights and weekends, prepping for shows. But it really, really paid off, and I can tell. I thought I looked elegant. I had these black tablecloths. I just felt way more put together this year, and it was awesome. And finally, I did finish Tweet Cute. I did find my copy too. I did read it as an audiobook. You guys saw in the earlier clips, but I do own the physical copy. I don't know yet if it's gonna actually stay on my shelves or if I'm just gonna put it in my little free library out front. Oftentimes when I buy stock for Blind Date with a Book, the program where you're paired with a food book and a snack from a small business from under my Read and Eat business, I usually keep one copy for myself so I can read it. I could just wrap it up and make it a blind date for somebody else because I honestly didn't even open the physical book. I was listening to it, so it's a perfectly brand new book. Anyway, I really liked the book. I thought it was super cute. I am in an age now where some of this stuff feels very unrealistic and some of it does feel really realistic. Pepper and Jack hiding behind the facades on the app, very relatable in the sense of, like, I was always afraid if people knew my true self or what I thought was my true self in high school, that people wouldn't actually like me for who I was. I was someone in my school very much known to get shit done. I did a lot of clubs. I was very active and I was very involved, but I was also, looking back, very depressed in my junior year. I remember having a couple of breakdowns where my friends were pretty scared for me at the time, and I remember thinking, if this is who I really am, are people gonna like me if I can't perform to the caliber and expectations? I had a lot of pressure from my dad to do really well in school. I put a lot of pressure on myself because my older sister was, you know, the captain of the softball team, beautiful and very smart, like just book smart, very smart, barely needed to study. And she was dating the captain of the football team all through high school. I just put a lot of pressure on myself in high school, and I really related to Pepper's character. On the flip side, Jack, I can understand what it's like to share or fight an identity with your twin brother. I can understand it. I can't obviously relate to it. I don't have a twin. But I found that those two different types of pressures and being juniors and seniors and thinking about college prep, I remember that stuff, and I really liked how the author handled it. I did feel some things at the end were slightly unresolved. Like Ethan and Jack never had the whole heart-to-heart conversation I expected them to have. It was more each parent told the son, well, your brother said the same exact thing about you, living in their shadow. I would rather have them to both have come together and had that conversation themselves. Does that make sense? Like it was told to you, it was told to them. I wanted them to hash it out themselves. I did like that their romantic couple name was Pepper Jack, because Pepper and Jack, oh my God, really cute, really cheesy, so adorably dorky. I liked some of the twists and surprises in it as well. Honestly, I can see why Emma Lord got a lot of praise for this book. I can see why people like Emma Lord as a writer. She's a super smart, rather contemporary writer. I thought it was like, it's not a perfect book for me just because I'm not the target audience in that sense. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I think it was a great book to listen to while working for the show. So let me know in the comments below if you have read Tweet Cute. Did you like Tweet Cute? Are there any other young adult foodie books that should be on my radar that are must reads? I still want to continue. Obviously, I'm still in love with nonfiction. It's predominantly all the books I buy. But I have enjoyed this year of really exploring food and other genres and would love to know more about young adult. I think there's also that unofficial new category of new adult where the protagonists are usually in college. I really hope, like I'm in my 30s, but I still really relate to the new age, especially like I would love more books when people are in grad school that are food related. But let me know in the comments below, have you read Tweet Cute? Did you shop small this holiday season? If you didn't even support, regardless if you supported me, but did you shop small this season? Let me know what bookish gifts you're super excited for, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and thanks always for the support. Bye.